So, this critique examines a scoping review on the treatments, markets, and health system implications of medical tourism, basically trying to bring order to that whole chaos. And getting right into it, the glaring discrepancy in global medical tourist estimates requires a proposed methodological solution rather than just, a presentation of the conflicting numbers.
Right, exactly. The review successfully identifies a massive data gap. Noting estimates range wildly from 60,000 to 50 million. But it stops short of advising policymakers on how to actually resolve this statistical chaos.
Which is wild because mapping this industry without a standardized metric is like trying to measure a shifting coastline with a rubber band.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
If we don't know who precisely counts as a medical tourist, well, all those subsequent economic impact models just collapse.
They completely fall apart. So the suggestion here is to develop and propose a standardized inclusion and exclusion framework for international data collection.
I totally agree. What would that look like?
Well, they could recommend a specific matrix that explicitly separates expats, emergency tourists, and wellness spa visitors from, targeted elective surgery travelers.
Oh, using border visa classifications, maybe?
Exactly. They could utilize something like India's specific M visa as a global template. It's just one example out of many potential methods, obviously, but it gives policymakers a tangible starting point.
For sure. Moving on to the next major point. The analysis of destination countries needs to distinguish between state-planned medical hubs and organic private sector growth.
That's clearly laid out. I wonder, though, if we've considered how treating exporting countries so uniformly regarding economic impacts really overlooks the fundamental differences in how these markets are strategically constructed.
Right, you can't just lump them all together.
You really can't. So they need to segment destination countries into distinct operational models based on their level of government intervention.
Like comparing Dubai and Thailand?
Precisely. You contrast the planned biomedical city model seen in Dubai Healthcare City or Korea's state-funded initiatives against Thailand's private sector overflow model.
That makes a lot of sense.
And by explicitly analyzing that, you can show how the risk of a two-tier health system differs under each specific model. Again, this is merely one route the author could take out of several possibilities, but it adds so much depth.
Absolutely. And that leads perfectly into the final section. The exploration of harm, liability, and redress needs to transition from a list of jurisdictional problems to a proposal for actionable policy pathways.
Yeah. The legal section is a bit stuck. It thoroughly outlines the risks of overseas malpractice and missing consent, which is great.
Right? It has the list.
But it currently lacks any actionable recommendations for establishing cross-border clinical governance.
I want to offer a specific pushback here, actually.
Oh, go for it.
Is it possible that establishing these bilateral legal frameworks is the exact prerequisite needed to safely actualize the massive cost savings highlighted in the UK-India tables?
Wait, really?
Yeah, like you need that safety net to actually get the savings.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes total sense. So if it truly is the prerequisite, the author should outline a preliminary policy framework for bilateral legal redress agreements.
What would that actually look like in practice?
Well, they could propose mandatory personal medical indemnity for overseas clinicians treating international patients. Or, suggest standardized arbitration clauses tied directly to international accreditation bodies like the Joint Commission International.
Just as a starting point.
Exactly. Obviously, mandatory indemnity and JCI arbitration clauses are just a couple of examples out of many potential policy solutions, but providing them makes the legal analysis highly actionable.
To summarize, strengthening this material involves standardizing the data collection methodology, segmenting the destination country models, and proposing actionable cross-border legal frameworks.
Yeah, implement those structural changes to maximize the paper's impact on global health policy.
Definitely. And please submit the revised work back to us for further feedback. We would love to see where this goes.